All right. Yes, so it's recording now. All right. So thank you all once again for being here. This is 8:06. So I believe I can start with my own presentation as to what I'll be doing today. So so first of all, the first thing that we have to deal with is to understand what exactly is self-awareness, right? So give me a minute. Let me try to share my screen. Something I've been trying to do, but let me see if I can share my screen from here. Okay, let me just share from my phone. Sure. Please just give me a minute trying to. Okay, so as I'm trying to load this, I'm sharing my screen now. I don't know if you can see it. Just try to maximize what's the word now. Can zoom in, yes. Try to zoom in on my screen so that you could see. Like I said, my laptop is messed up today, so I'm stuck with my phone. So please zoom in to see my presentation, and I will definitely share the presentation to those of us here on the call. So this is my screen right now. Yes, this is my screen right now, and I'm going to be talking about understanding self-awareness in social impact. So what exactly is, so before I start, usually I have a class objective and rules that we follow for any class that we have or anything that I do, training that we do. So basically we're just going to be talking about what self-awareness is. We're going to discuss how self-awareness relates to social impact and leadership. And then let's ensure that the mic is already closed, but let's drop comments on the group so that I can know that we are following through with the conversation. For those of us that are here, please, we'd also love if you can share on social media. Share on social media and tag us at Volunteer Blog. You could go to our accounts and you'll also see Mr. David's social media handles as well. So you could also be able to tag him when his session comes in as well. So please let's listen to the class and let's move from there. Yeah. So the next thing I have, like I said, please let's zoom in on this. Let's zoom in on the presentation right now. And you will see that there are 3 questions on my screen. Please drop a comment to the chat box if you can see my screen clearly. I can see the group messages, so that's the only way I can tell if you have a question or anything. So let's drop a message on the chat box to see if you can see my screen. Just say yes, you can see my screen, and I can ask the questions. Okay. Alright, I've not seen any messages from anyone on the group yet. I'm not sure if you guys are here. All right, so let me just move because I have limited time, and Mr. David also has limited time as well. But I'm expecting the messages, please. So okay, thank you. So the first question I have is yes, please, you have to zoom in. You have to zoom in a bit. I'm trying to zoom in on my end. You may have to zoom in, like zoom in a lot. I'm really sorry. This was not what was intended to This was not what was intended to happen. My laptop is still on blue screen mode. So, but can you see the first question? So the first question I have here is, if you could describe yourself in 3 words that capture your strengths, your qualities as a social impact leader or volunteer, what would these words be and why? Second question is, what inspired you to get involved in social impact work, and how do you see your personal values reflect in this cause? And the third question is, how would you define your self-awareness? What would you define as self-awareness, and why do you think it's important in in leadership and social impact? So I believe that we are about 9 here. Let me look at this. We are 9 here. So we can take any of the questions and drop the answers in the chat box so that we can move from there. So I'm repeating the question again. I can see Godsend, I can see Eddie Young, I can see Stacy, I can see Chinon. So please take a question. You could screenshot my screen, take a question and respond to the chat box, and we'll read it as we go along the conversation, please. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm really sorry that I have to use my phone. It's just unfortunate. It'd be like, say, village people are on my case today. But let's move. So yes, so what exactly is self-awareness? So like I explained before, that self-awareness is very important in everything that we do, in every situation that we find ourselves. Self-awareness is very important. So what exactly is self-awareness? Self-awareness is basically your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, your strengths, your weaknesses. Understanding all this is basically self-awareness. So what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your values? What are your behaviors? What is your weakness? How does this impact the people that you walk around, right? How does it impact others? That's basically self-awareness. It basically means being conscious of your identity, being conscious of your values, your beliefs, and how they impact the people around you, and even the interactions you have with the world, right? That's basically what self-awareness is. And self-awareness is very key in every single thing that we do, right? In the work that you do, in the work that you do as a volunteer, in the home, in your home front, if you are married or you are not, or siblings, everything, self-awareness is really key in everything that we do, right? And relating it with social impact is also something that I really love to explain. So for instance, now day before yesterday, I was in a workshop, and the lady was talking about personal branding, and she talked about how, something as simple as liking beans and liking yam can tell the kind of person that you are. And I was like, liking beans, liking yam. It was not like gelling in my head. But she explained further that the kind of food that you like, can tell the kind of person that you are, like your favorite food, right? She said it's for people who like swallow. It means that they are very in tune with their culture, like they are in tune with their surroundings. She said for people who like yam, they might be very versatile because of how versatile yam is. And she does give different examples. Like for people who like snacks or like pizza, there are those people who just love the soft life. They don't like stress, right? That kind of thing. And she even talked about just as something as simple as even the kind of things that you love to binge watch, movies and series and stuff like that, can actually determine the kind of person that you are, right? Just to add that to the conversation that we are having right now in this. I hope you're getting me. If you're getting me, just drop a comment, please, and we move from there. So basically, how does self-awareness I love to see our comments. I love to be interactive. The person who has the most interaction would get a surprise from us today. So you have to be very interactive in our presentation, both I and David's presentation today. So what is self-awareness? How does self-awareness impact social impact work? Right? So social impact work is I already explained what social impact work is to those of us who are here, but for those who may not really understand what social impact is, I usually just summarize that if you are doing work that is beneficial to the society, sorry, that is beneficial to the society and beneficial to the society and is impacting people's lives, basically, just the summary. And so how does social impact, how does self-awareness, sorry, affect social impact? If you are self-aware, I've already explained what self-aware is. So we have what so how does this impact the beneficiaries that you serve? How does this impact the community that you serve? Right? That's basically what it is. Like I said here. Right.
Okay, guys. This is Utibe speaking. Please let's exercise a little patience as we trust that Wendy will be back. I think it will be like a kind of a network glitch or something. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, I just realized that I have been speaking and my network was off.
Yes, we can hear you now. Welcome back.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I don't where did you guys hear me from, please? Hello? Where did I stop, please? I don't know where I stopped. I didn't even know that I was off.
Hello, can
Hello?
you hear me? Yes, you stopped at
Ye-
where you were defining how self-awareness impacts the social impact space. Did you
Thank you
get
so
that?
much, Edidion, for that. Yes, I did. I did. Thank you so much. So I was just going on. So did you guys hear the story I was giving? I was giving a story before I noticed that I went off. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay, so let me continue sharing my screen. All right, so I was given a story about how an organization had so they had a project where they found out that a community, the women always trek to a particular place to take water. And just for those that are in Abuja, just imagine trekking from Maitama to Wuse, just that kind of long distance. So they felt it wise to actually build a borehole for this community. And they thought it was a good thing. They built the borehole and they had water. After a few weeks and after a certain period, the community people came and destroyed the borehole. So it was a kind of a tragedy. Imagine spending so much money to just build something, and then your stuff has gotten destroyed. So they had to ask questions. They now found out that that period in which the women used to walk down to the stream to fetch water was the only time that the women in the community had time off chores in the home. So they used that period of walking, getting water at the stream to actually like engage with other women, have this time to rest, gossip, and all that. So to them, they had the people who had come to do the borehole had come to like cut off their free time that they had, right? So this is talking about personal bias now, right? Obviously, anybody who hears that story will be like, "Ah, how can somebody be trekking so long to go and fetch water?" You use your own bias to say, I cannot go and do that kind of thing, because of the fact that it's your own personal bias and your own personal privilege. But sometimes, what you see on ground as someone who is in social impact space, is different from what other people, from what the community people are seeing, right? So if these people had done their own research, their proper research into understanding what the needs of their community is and not what their own bias is saying, right? They won't have spent so much money on building that borehole for the community. They would have looked for other methods, or even just find out what their needs are really, right? Maybe they could have looked for other ways to help the women in reducing the work that they have at home, rather than thinking that, oh, this stress that they are doing is not something that they should be doing. These are those things that they should have done. This is in the aspect of checking our biases in regards things that we do. So that's what I was just trying to explain in understanding our biases, understanding our privilege, in terms of how we engage the communities or people that we serve. Sometimes you may think something may be useful. You may think something may be useful um, for a community that you're serving or for a group of people, but you end up finding out that that thing I think may be useful is not what they really need at that point in time. So understanding self-awareness as a person would help with checking some of these biases and understanding that it's not everything that we think is good that would be good for the community people that you're going to serve. So you have to understand yourself, understand that you are not thinking for them, and avoiding the savior complex. So I hope you got that. Please drop a comment so I can know that we got that this time around. I'm so sorry, Mr. David. I know that you have limited time, so I'll just rush through the next slide that I have, and this is my last slide actually. This is my last slide. So what are the benefits of self-awareness, decision making, and problem solving? I've already talked about decision making already and how that's so empathy and relationships, collaboration and teamwork, personal growth, well-being, and self-care. So empathy and relationship, if you're able to understand yourself as an individual, you'll be more open to um you know to sorry, who's this person? Yes, sorry for that. So if you are more self-aware, you'll be more open to relationships around you, be more empathetic to people around you and the situations that they have. If you're able to check your own biases, check your own privileges, it also gives you empathy and makes you to have better relationships with people around you. Collaboration and teamwork. This helps you to understand people's communication styles, understand their strengths, and be able to network with people. If you're someone who is a social impact leader, if you're a founder, if you're a leader, if you're someone that likes to have events or foster collaboration, as someone who understands yourself, you'll be able to channel that area of yourself that is your strength to collaborate or network with more people that you have within your space, right? In the personal growth, well-being, and self-care. So a lot of us social impact leaders, we tend to get burnt out easily, right? And if you understand yourself as an individual, you'll be able to tell when you need a break, when you need to take off from the work that you do, take a break and sit back and then come back refreshed. When you're not self-aware enough, you find yourself doing things over and over and over, and not really understanding till it gets to a point where you break down, right? Just because of the fact that you don't really you're not really aware of who you are, not just who you are, but your limits, boundaries as well. That's something that's very key. Understanding your boundaries. You just allow anything anybody says, you say, yes, I'm in. Yes, I'm in. Yes, I'm in. Yes, 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 yes. Not understanding that you have to say no to certain things, right? It affects you personally and mentally. And if you're able to understand yourself as an individual, you'll be able to set proper boundaries. You'll be able to prioritize yourself as an individual and move forward. So this is the end of my presentation for today. If you have questions, let's see it. Please let me know if you are getting me. And I see that we have some people on the call. And let me just stop sharing my screen. Yeah, so that's about it for my presentation today. I know that I rushed a lot of things because, I took a lot of time off. I didn't even know how long I was off this call, honestly, and I was just rambling on. So, yes, that's basically what I have to say. Mr. David has a lot more to talk around how to develop yourself and more. So, do we have any questions? Like I said, people who are very engaged today have a special gift from us. So I'm not seeing comments in the chat box. I'm only seeing 1 comment, 2 comments. How was the presentation so far? How was the presentation so far? So if you want to speak, you could just drop a comment in the chat box so I can know if you'd want to say something before we move on to Mr. David to have the floor to, memorize. All right, today. Okay, I see some people on call. Oh, Peps, good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. Success. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I can see. Okay, so Godson said he has heard this story before. Yeah, I don't know where I heard it from, but I sure heard that. I know I heard the story before, and that story has stuck with me for a long time. All right, thank you so much, Godson. I'm not seeing any other comments. I'm hoping for more comments. Do we have questions? We could drop the questions in the chat box and would answer once Mr. David is done. I can only see Godson. Please, let's drop comments to Biko. If you're having difficulty dropping comments, I would share the link again to the Telegram platform. Mr. David, you have the floor to, take us on a ride today. And I'm so sorry, please, for taking your time. It's not intended.
No problem. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? Wendy, if you can hear me, please notify so that I can know.
Yes, I can hear you. I believe a lot of on the call.
Okay,
yes, I can hear you very well.
If you can hear me, every other person can hear me. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Wendy, for this opportunity to join on this call. How has the day been? How's the day been? However, how's the week been? Please, can you notify by putting in the emotions, the most emotion you felt or you experienced this week? Can you put it in the chat? I'm seeing about some few comments here. Please, can we put in fire emojis first and foremost to appreciate Wendy for putting up this program? While wherever you are, I want you to celebrate our First Lady. If there's anybody that is someone that gives her all when it comes to social impact and all of that, is Wendy. Can we just get the room? Can we get the chat room with fire emojis celebrating her? If we are to celebrate World NGO Day, I think Wendy should be one of the people that we should be giving award to. Okay, I'm only seeing one person. Good. Can we fire on? Can we fire on? Can we fire on? Can we fire on? I'm having my handset, my phone right here. I'm watching your chats. Good. Thank you so much, Wendy, once again. And I trust that we all are having a wonderful time. The subject of self-awareness is a very broad one. And trust me, it's not something that we can finish in an hour call. I trust that maybe some other time we are going to build depth into this, because as social people in the social space, people who are in the social impact space, like professional leaders, we tend to be dealing with emotions every other time. We tend to be dealing with emotions every other time. Thank you for those on the call. I can see your chats. I can see Atunike. I can see, let me see. Thank you for joining in, Stacy, Peps. I really want to appreciate each and every one of us. Now, the second task right now is please notify. Are you a head of an NGO or you are a volunteer? I want to know the people that are on the call right now. Please, if you are a volunteer in an NGO, just write volunteer, or if you are someone heading an NGO, just put in the chat room so that I can know. There are some things I really want to discuss, and I really want to know the people that are on this call right now. Founder, good to know. Thank you very much. Another person, please, can we make that fast? Can we make that fast? I want to see so that I'll know. Volunteer, Tunike, I've seen you. A volunteer. Okay. Who again? Stacy says, okay, volunteer. Can we get another person? Okay, I'm looking at my phone so I can head of NGO. Wow. So we are having mixed founder, head of NGO at the same time. Good. Good. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Now, a quick exercise right now. Please go into the chat room and document the dominant emotion you have felt this week. The dominant emotion that you have felt this week. Can you go into the chat room and document the dominant emotion that you have actually felt this week? As social impact professionals or people in the social impact space, everything we do has to do with emotion, and we must be very aware of what we are actually doing. We must be aware of the emotions that we are sending out there. Now, so many times, emotions are mostly noticed, are mostly felt, not on your own part, but definitely with the people that you have impact on. So please, I'm still waiting on the comments. Anxiety, I can see that. Next one, can we go down? I want to see the dominant expression, the dominant emotion they have felt this week. Because whatever you are not aware of, you will not be able to manage. That is because, yes, thank you. Ellen Nielsen says stress. Perfect. Okay, stress. Which other one? Overwhelm. Which other one? Can I get one more? We are 11 people in the comments. Anger and despair. Which other one? I'm looking for one more. Anxiety. Now, majority of what we are seeing here is what we call stress. stress, anxiety. Now, if I want to dig deep down to asking you, can you document another prevalent or dominant or less dominant emotion that you have felt this week? If you want to go deep down, like we always narrow down when it comes to emotional intelligence, we'll narrow down to ask you at least 5 emotions or most dominant emotion that you have experienced during the week. Now, you get to see that sometimes people get stuck. I can see anxious and fatigue here. Now, anxiety here. Now, we get to document it. You will see that at some certain points, some people will not be able to document those emotions. Now, you must be very aware to know the emotions that you are feeling per time in order to manage those emotions. First of all, you are in the impact space. You are in the social impact space. So majority of the time, the people they are dealing with, you tend to be seeing emotions flying in the environment. Some people come to tell you, okay, I felt stressed this week. Now, what did you do? Because the reason why so many people can't manage emotions, over a period of time, you can walk into an organization and you can literally feel the emotion in that environment. There's some environment you enter, you just enter the place and you yourself, you start feeling agitated. You start feeling agitated. You're asking yourself, but I wasn't feeling this way. No, that is the dominant emotion in that space. Now, there are what we call emotional baggages. When emotion are stored up over a period of time, the next thing you now enter is that the emotion saturates the environment. So I walk into your organization today, and because a lot of people don't know how to manage their stress, it's already showing on them. But as they step out there, the next thing is that they are going to go and give relief. They are going to go and give relief. You can't give what you don't have. So you're going out there. What you have is what you're going to give. So the next thing is that you start seeing stress hovering in the environment. And you'll be asking yourself, but I came here, I didn't feel stressed. How come am I stressed up? It is the emotion in that environment. So whether as a volunteer, whether as a founder, whether as a head of an NGO, trust me, you need to be aware of the different emotions that are spilling into the space. And that is what I'll be dealing with. So number one, I'll be talking about how to developing self-awareness. Now, developing self-awareness requires a consistent effort and practice. And I will leave you with some strategies for self-reflection and self-assessment. If I have more time, I can definitely deal into some other stuff. Number one, journaling. Number one, journaling. That's one of the things that we were taught in our class, in our emotional intelligence class. Now, is my mentor and my teacher that actually developed that model. Is called the 3 A's of intervention. 3 A's of intervention when it actually comes to with emotional intelligence, and he calls it the Tekena 3A model. And so many times I use that a lot, because the first A talks about acknowledging. You must acknowledge your mental state. You must acknowledge your mental state. You must be able to give that emotion a name. You must be able to give that emotion a name. Like you're saying now, anxiety. If I want to pick someone out now and tell you, okay, what other emotion did you notice during the week? And if I ask them up to 5, you will see that along the line, you get to see that it will only journey from happiness, anxiety, stress, overwhelming, and all of that. Nobody, you will not need to narrow down, because those are the common emotion that is prevalent. But as someone that is working in the social impact space, you must acknowledge the emotions that you are feeling or you are experiencing per time. So, one of the strategies is number one, journaling. Regularly write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a journal. Reflect on your day. When reflecting on your day, take cognizance of significant events, your emotional reactions. Now, let me put this straight. What you have, there is what we call in emotional intelligence when narrowing down schema. What is schema? Schema is how you see the world, the lens through which you see the world, the lens through which you see yourself. In every part, in every circumstance, in every situation, there must be a lens that you are seeing yourself and you are seeing the world. Now, in this schema, there are about 3 levels that explain schema. Number one is the circle of direct control. The circle of direct control. Now, the circle of direct control talks about you, talks about your feelings. How do you manage your feelings? The second circle is what we call the circle of indirect control. This is the circle of the other person. When it comes to people like founders here, you don't have anything to do with how your subordinate is feeling. But all you have to do is that you need to learn how to respond to how your subordinate is feeling or to the emotion of your subordinate. Now, how do this happen? Now, I came to the office, I'm overwhelmed, a lot of files on my table. I need to do this, I need to do that, and I'm overwhelmed. I come to work, my boss has already hit files on my table that I need to do. I don't know how to go about it. And guess what? The boss comes in hours after and notice that the files are still there. Maybe because the subordinate has not actually attended to the file, number one. Two, maybe the subordinate is trying to process. Maybe it came from home. A lot of bills, especially in Nigeria that we are right now, a lot of things are happening. And trust me, that makes a lot of people overwhelmed. Some people wake up in the morning and they don't even want to go to work. And you came in as a boss, you are feeling disappointed. Meanwhile, your subordinate here is feeling overwhelmed. Number one, your response at that particular point in time can either make your subordinate or mar your subordinate. For social impact personnel, this subordinate might be a volunteer. So what happens? How do you manage this? And all through the week, you keep noticing some of these things. Monday, you're feeling overwhelmed. Tuesday, you're feeling the emotion of anxiety. Wednesday is stress. Thursday is another thing. But if you don't put them as a journal, how will you reflect on your day? On how will you reflect on your week? So reviewing past entries can help you identify patterns in your behavior and emotions. 2, seeking to know what is happening within the next phase, which is your subordinates' actions or subordinates' inactions. Remember, there are 2 circles I've mentioned here. Circle of direct control, which has to do with you. Second is circle of indirect control, which has to do with the second person or the second party. But what happens here is that you don't have a right to control what happens in the second circle. All you have to do is you understanding what happens in your own circle. And from there, you can only respond to what is happening in the second person circle. Number 2 strategy, mindfulness meditation. Engaging in meditation can cultivate present moment awareness. With the things that are happening in our nation today, especially founders, especially volunteers, you'll be so lost that you'll be storing emotions, especially the negative ones. You are a social impact professional or you're a founder, and then you are having like a kind of friction in your marriage if you are married, and then you are getting to work. Now, you are having, just because you're getting out to work, you're trying to store up emotion, you don't want to react to some certain things, you just keep it low, and then you're moving ahead, you're getting to work, and here comes another emotion at the place of work. And some of us, we do store up emotion. And what happens is that when you have stored up emotions over a period of time, it becomes an emotional baggage. That is when a simple, maybe if someone just came in now and then pulled a trigger, the next thing is that you now explode. People are now wondering, it's just a simple this. Why is she reacting this? Why is she reacting this big? But the reaction is not commensurate to the answer or to the behavior of the trigger, because this emotion has been stored up for a period of a long time. And guess what? That is not self-awareness. When your emotions overrule you, especially negative emotions, you are not self-aware. That means you have to do a kind of mindful meditation. You have to look within, especially for founders. Why did I even start this work? Especially in our nation right now, a lot of people are asking themselves, why did they even start? Me, I've been able to, for over the years, I've played in the space as someone that leads an organization and someone as a volunteer. In fact, I've been volunteering from day one when I came to know my calling or what I have to offer my generation. The third strategy is seeking feedback. Actively solicit for feedback from others, including friends, family, colleagues, mentors. Ask for their honest assessment of your strengths, weaknesses, and areas that you could improve. A lot of people, especially founders, don't have this kind of feedbacks. I'm in a place of worship that every last Sunday we have feedback, we have reviews. Our pastor will tell us, he says, see, what happened all through the week or all through the month, I want you to assess it. He says, some feedback I need to get. Some founders, some leaders of organizations don't actually get to do this. So they don't get to have these feedbacks. And this is a problem, because in the long run, as an organization, as an individual, is going to affect you. The fourth one, and I would like to stop here, is self-assessment tools. Utilize the use of self-assessment tools and personality assessments. There are a couple of personality assessment tests right there. I was telling Wendy, I said, I would have done, because of the want of time, I would have done a 15-minute, or I would have done an assessment here, both for the leaders and both for everyone here. But I'm going to copy the links. I'm going to copy the links that I have. For some of you, you will know some of these links, like what do you call it? 16 personality tests. That's emotional intelligence assessment, where you can learn to know what emotions are prevailing. How can you journey down, and how can you learn to manage that emotion for yourself? Then how do you then manage the emotions of others? As a leader, you need to know how to manage your own emotions, and at the same time, you need to know how to manage the emotions of others. So some of these things are what I'm going to really put down in the chat room, and then you can do the assessment yourself. For once on time, I really wanted to do a practical session whereby you can journey with me. We can see it on the screen. We can actually know what we are doing. So please, if you are actually deriving value, I want you to get into the chat room and then let me know. If you're actually deriving value, please, can you get into the chat room and let me know. So in conclusion, I can't get through to everything I wanted to talk about, but I can let you to know that we can't finish this in the specific amount of time that we have. So I want you to know that in self-awareness, there are a lot of strategies that you can incorporate. And let me chip this in, because this will really relate well with the founders and also as volunteers. Express mistakes and failures. Instead of dwelling on mistakes or failures, view them as opportunities for learning and growth. Reflect on what went wrong, what you could have done differently, and how you can apply these insights in the future. So that can still go back to journaling, like I said in the beginning. So embrace mistakes and failure. Sometimes mistakes are opportunity to improve on what you could have done better. Like right about now, a lot of things are happening. A lot of NGOs are shutting down. A lot of NGOs are going silent because fundings are not coming. People are not even eating. Why would they now start funding other stuff? But I believe that if you are true to your cause, your authenticity, and the things that you had when you began the organization is what will be driving you this period. It's not actually the resources this period, because you may not have the money, but if you are self-aware of the personality that you are, definitely you'll be able to help someone out there. You can help someone with a word of encouragement. You can be just your figure, your personality will be able to communicate to another person out there. So I want us as individuals, whether volunteers, whether CEOs, or whether leaders of organizations, trust me, it is time for us to look within. It is time for us to incorporate these strategies into our daily life, and gradually you will enhance self-awareness and deeper insight into yourself, your emotions, your interaction with others. And remember, your self-awareness is a long life journey, and each step you take towards greater self-understanding brings you closer to personal growth and fulfillment. Now, I'll drop, maybe after this meeting right now, I'll drop the link for each and every one of us to go through. Please, I'm not seeing your fire emotions. I wanted to know, what are you deriving value so far? Now, incorporating self-awareness into leadership. Number one is decision making. Like Wendy earlier said, reflect on your biases, values, motivation that may influence decision making. How can you apply? Because if you don't even know yourself, how would you apply prevalent stuff into decision making? Consider a lot of things that you have done over the past. What worked? What didn't work? How can we improve on what we are doing? Now, something went wrong. How do we keep track of the value and the difference we are making in our community? Now, in decision making, continuously assess or reassess decision, take into account the feedback and outcomes, and then be able or willing to correct the course if necessary. There are some things that actually work before COVID, that COVID came and scattered everything. As an organization, you cannot still be using that model. You have to reinvent. There must be another kind of decision that you have to do, or you have to really incorporate into your decision making in order for you to still drive the impact that you are giving to the society. Now, let me jump. How do we incorporate self-awareness into leadership? Number two is building relationships and collaborations. When you have known yourself, when you have known the person that you stand out for, and that awareness is what is also ruling your organization, you will learn, you will go out of your way to build relationships, especially when it comes to the community, because you are dealing with human beings, you are dealing with people, and one thing is that you don't control the emotions of the people. All you have in your control is your own emotions. So you must cultivate awareness to better understand your own communication style when it comes to leadership. You learn to communicate your triggers in interaction to others. It is not what you say. It is not what you say.
Hello, David, are you here with us? Okay, I think
What your
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
David, can you hear me? Yeah, you went off at a point.
Oh. Please, where exactly did you?
You were talking around building relationships and collaborations, and I didn't hear you, and you even went off. You can't even see.
Let me join again, please. Sorry about that. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
But I don't. Let
Sorry,
me
I
ask
went.
the other. Let's drop messages if you can hear him. Just drop messages if you can hear him or see. Okay, not seeing any message. Okay. Someone says she can hear. All right. I think you can. You can go on. I think you can go on, Mr. David.
Oh, okay. You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So building relationships and collaborations. Now, you need to step out of your way because this is not the time to play alone in the space as a social impact organization or social impact professional. Now, what do? You need to build relationships, meaningful relationships. Building meaningful relationship with others in the space who are actually doing the same thing that you are doing. Now, how do you do this? You have to practice empathy and active listening when engaging with team members, partners, and community members. Seek to understand their perspectives, experiences, and needs without judgment. And I've dealt with a couple of founders and a couple of volunteers. Many founders don't tend to listen to other people's perspective. This is how I see it, and they want it to remain the way they want their own destiny to remain. Why don't you call for a meeting? Get to know what other people feel or what other people are thinking regarding the decision you want to make or regarding the project you are about to embark on. So you seek to understand their perspective, their experiences when it comes to community. You are trying to Wendy was trying to give a story. Now it reflects back to a story that I had a while ago. Now, why is it that when American NGOs want to come and drill borehole water, especially like in states in the northern part of Nigeria, they don't give them the kind of water system that they have in their own country? Why do they come down when they come to Nigeria? They don't give us the kind of system that they have in their own country. It's because when they come to Nigeria, the kind of system that they are seeing, so they will downgrade that system to suit into that of the community. The community that you are trying to impact or the people you are trying to impact will feel you more when you come down to their level. So you get to understand the people that you are dealing with, whether it's community, whether it's your volunteers, whether it's organization that you are partnering with. How do you inculcate even the SDG? I'm a strong advocate of SDG, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and I play in a couple of those goals. Now, how do you incorporate most of these goals into what you are doing? Fostering culture of inclusivity and respect within your organization. Valuing diverse opinions and contributions. That someone is seemingly giving you another perspective is not as if the person is trying to hit at the person is trying to rebel against what you are talking about. How will you step out from the leadership role and place yourself in the place of a volunteer as a leader? How do you take out yourself to put yourself in the shoe of a volunteer or in the shoe of the community that you are trying to impact? Majority of organizations are not actually communicating to the host communities well because they just assume that, okay, this is happening in Nigeria, these people should need this, these people should need this, these people should need this, and they want to go there. A couple of organizations reached me lately last year towards December, and they told me I want to do a project because I consult for organizations like that, especially when it comes to youth organization. And they are in America. I volunteer for them too. And then they said, okay, this one we are consulting, we are reaching you for consulting. Now we want to do a program in Nigeria, and I want you give me ideas. I told them, no. What are your values? I know these as your values, but what you are bringing up does not communicate your value to the community. It will look good in the eyes of the people, but it will not be communicating the values that your organization represents. So the leader now got back to me and said, okay, what do you think? I said, we will get down to the community, interact with the community people, talk to the leaders, get to know their issues that aligns with your organization's mission or vision. From there, you people can plan. And I got back to them, give them a proposal. They worked on it. They gave me a couple of people to work with. So I gave them people to work with. They went and executed that project in Abuja. And they said me, okay, thank you very much. The community was very grateful. They even prayed. And the person here is a young person that is heading the organization. They did videos. They prayed for her. She's in Miami. They prayed for her. Now, how do you bring in inclusivity? How do you communicate this when it comes to collaborations? They couldn't do it. They couldn't access Nigeria, but they could partner with someone who has an idea, who has a context of these terrains, and they collaborated with the person. Okay, help me. Let us do this thing. And that thing was successful. You alone cannot solve the problem of a nation. You alone cannot solve. You need to collaborate with others. By integrating self-awareness into leadership practice within your NGO, it will enhance development. Whether it's within your organization or the organization that you are reaching out to. It will enhance decision-making processes, and then it will foster meaningful relationships that contribute to positive societal change and empower marginalized communities. I trust that with this a few points of mine, I've been able to do justice to development of self-awareness, some strategies. I'll also bring in my links for you to also use that in running a test. I trust that this will help you, and you can also explore other related materials concerning this. Thank you very much, Miss Wendy, for this opportunity. I yield the floor right now. Thank you.
Wow. Please, let's drop our emojis. Let's drop our appreciation for Mr. David. That was just, in fact, I was like, should David end like this? I was like, I'll let you just continue speaking, but I know that we have limited time, and I know you have another engagement very soon. So please, let's drop our comments. Let's drop our so I'm leaving the floor open now. If you want to ask questions, please let's ask questions in regards to what the conversation is so far. Okay. Thank you. I'm seeing comments. So please, do we have questions? Please. Mr. David has very few minutes with us. He actually has another engagement very soon. So I would like us to ask the questions that I would want to ask here on the call. If you have questions, just indicate in the comments, and then I would give you the mic to speak. So we have just 5 minutes. So do we have questions? I can see comments from Godsend, from Successful, from Stacy. Do we have any questions? Any questions at all around the self-awareness, everything that has been said regarding what I said, and also what Mr. David said in regards to the topic? Okay, I'm not seeing any comments from anyone. Okay. No questions at all. This is an opportunity to speak with Mr. David, or you might not get a free opportunity next time. Okay. Okay, so since we don't have any questions at all, I just want to appreciate you again, Mr. David, for taking the time and very even short notice to do this. This class that we had today was supposed to be a paid class, actually, but we had to convert it to a free class, and we're hoping to have another session like this, but more practical, like he mentioned, having to use some tools and assessment tools and all that. So we'll be having another class on this, but it's going to be a paid class coming soon. Hopefully by between next month and the next. We have a calendar already for the paid events and programs that we have coming up at ESC. But for the person who has been most active today, I've been looking through our chat. I said I was going to give something to the most active person on the chat today. And the only person I see that was very active, that has the most comments here is Godsend. Godsend, yes, Godsend has the most comments here on the chat box based on what I'm seeing. Godsend and sorry, hold on, please. Just so nobody will say I cheated them. Yes. So Godsend, I'm seeing something from successful, but Godsend actually has the most comments from so far. So for Godsend who has Godsend is actually our moderator. He's the one who actually posts the volunteer opportunities on this platform. So for those of us that are here newly that might not know, Godsend is actually one of our moderators who all the opportunities you see on the platform, he's the one who does it. Congrats, Godsend. You'll be getting a time from us. You'd also be getting a free slot to one of our paid events coming up soon. So, yes. And I'll speak with Mr. David on maybe having a session with him on the personal personal reflection stuff that he talked about that he wanted to do for us, but we couldn't do due to the short time frame. So that's what we'll be getting from us.
Sorry about that. Please. Yes, I'm forwarding the links to you right away. I've sent it to your WhatsApp. Yes. So what I'll encourage everyone to do the food test, which is the Allison. It talks about knowing your weaknesses and personality traits when it comes to the workplace. Then the same personality test is the regular one everyone does. But I will encourage each and every one of us to do these different tests. I'm giving you 4 different tests, and you will get to know. They will send you feedbacks of your strengths and your weaknesses. Please, if you are a founder, endeavor to do it. If you are a volunteer, endeavor to do it. You will get to know yourself the more. If you don't know yourself, you'll not be able to communicate, because in most of the things that are happening in this social impact space is communication, not the verbal communication, but ability for people to understand their emotions and be able to communicate their emotions. So I've sent that to your WhatsApp. You can share with the group. Thank you very much, Ma, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining the call. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, David. I just shared it to the platform. So for those of us that are here, I have shared it to the group. So, yes. So, I mentioned Godsend and Eddie Young. Actually, Eddie Young was the first person who joined us on this call. I don't know if he's still here, but he was the first person that joined us. And
Yeah.
he was very active, and he's also been active on the social media front as well. So, Eddie Young and Godsend, thank you both so much, and I'll get back to you both on other modalities. So thank you everyone once again for joining us for this conversation. Thank you for joining our Telegram group. So this our Telegram group is always active every Mondays, Fridays. You would always see volunteer opportunities. During the weekends, we share like opportunities. You could even see, if you check through our group, you'd see that we share like other opportunities that are not volunteer based during the weekends. We'll be having a Telegram check-in in a couple of days just to ask people around their experiences about, some of the platforms that we've posted here. And we'll always have that check-in every month, once a month. And we'll be having other activities on this platform, Telegram webinars like I have here, which this will be the only time you would see me hosting an event. Any other event you would see me hosting would not be here on the platform. It would be probably on Zoom, or we have a Q&A session where I predominantly host, but this is our first. So you'll probably see the likes of Godsend, Edith Young. They're the ones who would be the and Victor, who are here. They're the ones who would be doing most of the hosting and the events that we'll be having on this platform. But please stay tuned to our page, share it to as many people as you know. The recording of this would only be given to those who are able to, if we are able to see some posts on social media on what you've been, what you're able to learn from this, take a screenshot from this session, put out a quote or put something that you've learned from this session, tag us at Volunteer Blog, tag Mr. David, and only those who are able to follow through with this would be able to get the full recording of this conversation, because this conversation is going to be is actually recorded right now, and we'll be putting it up on our page for those who want to have a replay, but it's not going to be free, right? So for those who want the recording, take a screenshot of this meeting now, go on social media, tag us, just let us know what's something you really learned. One key takeaway from this. And once we see it, we will send you a message and we'll send you the full recording of this. We'll send you the full recording and also send you a feedback form for you to fill so that you just get your feedback regarding this conversation. Once again, thank you all. And for those that are in Abuja, we are hosting, we are going to be having an Abuja community for people who are looking for volunteer opportunities. So this community is just for those in Abuja only. If you're in Abuja, you're looking for a place to volunteer, we are creating a community for just those in Abuja, because we are based in Abuja. So it's easier for us to get opportunities within Abuja. And we'll be launching this in next month. We'll have a physical meeting. If that will change, we'll also put it up on our social media pages. Please follow us at Volunteer Blog, and you'll see us on all the social media platforms. So you have between today and let's say Wednesday to post something up online, and once we see it, we'll definitely send you a message and send you the full recording of this thing. For those that are my volunteers, you guys already know we are paddies, so don't worry. we got you. For those who are outside the ESC team, please we have between today and Wednesday, just take a shot and put your feedback, just anything that you gain from this experience, and we're hoping to see more from all of you. So Mr. David, is there anything you want to say before we end round up this call?
A quick one, whether to the founders or to the volunteers. I want you to stay true to yourself. A lot of people are losing themselves in the face of trying to give back, whether as a volunteer or whether as an organization. A lot of people are giving back, but they are actually losing themselves. Stay true to your assignment. Be authentic. Recalibrate your why. Why did I volunteer? Why did I join the organization? Why did I even start the organization in the first place? You need to get back to authenticity. When you audit your why, it's going to do two things for you. Number one, it's going to strengthen your resolve, especially in the face of a downtown economy like we have right now. And at the same time, it's going to unlock gratitude in your world. Trust me, whatever you are doing is solving a problem, even though you are not feeling it the way you're supposed to feel it. But deep down inside, as far as you are doing it, you are getting fulfillment. Stay true to it. Stay true to your authenticity, because that is your dominance factor, and that is your dominance difference in our world. Thank you very much. And I hope that really helps. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, David. And thank you all so much. Like I said, if you want the recording for free, just screenshots, send a message or tag us please at the Volunteer Blog on your stories, or even on your post, make a social media post, and just to appreciate the speaker so far. and would send this to you. And Mr. David, I will definitely send this to you personally, the full recording, once it's ready as well. So let's all have a good and wonderful day. I'll end the recording now.